Or this TV show.
Hello and welcome back to Do You Remember This Movie? My name is Corey, my name is Corey, as you probably all know because you've watched every episode that we have out so far. Tonight I'm here with Cam and Trent once again. We have a couple new movies that we watched and we're ready to review. These are some good ones, folks. So with no further ado, Cam.
Now it's time for the synopsis with Cam. The synopsis with Cam.
Our first film, Hands of Steel. Here's my synopsis. 30% human, 70% robot, 100% lethal. 70% disliked, 30% hunted, 100% failure. 100% destiny, 70% Italian, 30% Arizona.
That was...
Yeah, what? It's called Hands of Steel, but also known as Vengeance from the Future. That's the Italian science fiction version of it.
Well, let's see who's in this movie. How do we know who's in this movie?
That's me. All right. So, playing the bad guy, we have John Saxon. Or Saxon. Sorry, I pronounced that wrong. But you probably remember him for his role in Nightmare on Elm Street, actually. But more importantly, probably New Nightmare. Yeah.
He's more than just that one-trick pony, Nightmare Pony, right? He was also well known for his role in the Fantasy Island, type of TV program back in the late 70s, early 80s called Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island, and that tattoo from Fantasy Island was in the Forbidden Zone. Mm-hmm. You're welcome, everyone. We're gonna watch the Forbidden Zone.
Was his character name in that Francis Turner in the Island show, or no? I have it written down. I don't know what
No one remembers anyone's name other than Tattoo.
Oh yeah, Tattoo.
I have Francis Turner written down. I don't know why I had that written down.
Yeah, like everybody. I never watched Fantasy Island. I was too young for that. But everybody knows that Ricardo Montalban was in Fantasy Island, but nobody knows what his name was, and he was the main character. What was his name in the show? Was it? I'm gonna say his name was Mr. Island.
We'll go with Mr. Island. I like it.
And his friends call him Fantasy.
But he's not the only known actor from this movie. The cover, the gentleman on the cover there, Daniel Green, he's the main guy, we'll call him. But most people probably remember him from being the wheelchair ninja in Dumb and Dumber 2. I don't know if you remember that movie. That was the sequel, not the prequel, to the Dumb and Dumber saga. Also, he was the Pizza House man in Something About Mary. So not the pretend pizza delivery guy, but the Pizza House man.
Yeah, when most people think about Something About Mary, they think about the Pizza House man and Brett Favre.
And Brett Favre. Favre? How do you say it?
You're going to get run out of town, Corey.
That's okay. I've been trying to. But recently, apparently he was in a show that I watched called Loudermilk.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
He was the sheriff in Loudermilk. And you guys both watched that show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. We may have talked about that in a prior podcast.
I don't think so.
Remember. Oh, no? Okay. Yeah.
Maybe that'll be our first TV show.
And I really enjoyed it. But those are the main two. I don't think the Hands of Steel actually started anything else. They might have been in, a Kenny Rogers movie at one point, but didn't catch it. But. Well,
I have one to bring up in a little bit, but it's not the cast and crew with Trent here, so I want to make sure you have your. So here's what this movie's about. So Hands of Steel, it's Some people say it's a ripoff of Terminator, but it's so much more. It's so much more. And it doesn't feature any time travel. All right, so it's about this gentleman who we later find out that he's an assassin that's been bioengineered to be like this cyborg assassin, and he's supposed to kill this really important guy. They don't fully flesh out this for us. This is one of those movies where they let you write let you write the ending. They let you write the beginning and the middle, right? So apparently there's this really important figurehead hiding in this hotel, and he has the solution for all the world's problems and the future of mankind. So clearly there's something going on in this world, because you keep seeing all of these vents that must be for either filtering what's ever going on in the air, or if it looks to me like air conditioning. But something's going on. They're not really clear. And then our hero starts off as the bad guy. And then for some unknown reason, he starts to see that that's not a good way to be. And when I say somewhere it's actually in the first 3 minutes. You're like, oh, is that the good guy? Oh no, he killed somebody. Oh no, he is. Oh no, he is a good guy. It's
bad guy. No, he's a good guy. No, he's a bad guy.
Yeah,
Wait.
it's
vigilante.
I like to believe that it got lost in the translation from Italian to American English.
Another movie.
So here we go. So it starts off with him in this red car, and with
that hubcap.
I wanted to show the red car specifically because it's weird that they got this nice car. It must have been a rental, because they only have it for this exact moment where he pulls up.
Oh, cue the video game music. Yep.
Yeah, the music from Bad Dudes, or Streets of Rage. And then there was a poster of our savior. But anyway, so he pulls up in a red car. Okay, and then he goes into this. He's in this hotel, which he lives in,
which he had to get patted down before he went into his residence.
Exactly. So he gets patted down. It's just procedure because there's important people in here. But this is also where he lives. So I guess that maybe as the assassin, that he goes and checks into the same hotel that this important person's staying in. But it's like the grossest hotel ever. And here you already start to see the ducting that I was talking about. That's all over this entire movie and never explained, as far as I was.
I mean, it might be one step up from a Motel 6, but that's about it, though. I think at least the Motel 6 out by me.
Oh, I could tell you. I was in a band that stayed in hotels a lot, and I have some Motel 6-ness.
Would you have stayed here?
At the
this place?
This. Movie? Oh no. This I probably have stayed in worse, but anyway. So here we go. So this guy right here is like the assistant to this super powerful man that has all the answers. And he actually details this like where he's gonna be really loud. Like the security outside is pretty tight, but not inside. We're just gonna blab it.
The meeting gets done. It has to be done today. Very important. Be back at 3:30.
Be back at 3:30. And so I know I talk about weird product placement in movies, and I think I said that the one in the Schwarzenegger movie, Last Action Hero, was the weirdest product placement I've ever seen. This actually beats it out. So he just said that they have to be back there at 3:30. So now our assassin knows exactly when to strike.
What time is it? 12:45 there.
And 56 seconds.
And yep, that's important.
You know what? I didn't notice this on the first watch. There's a mistake. It says AM.
Well, that is a good catch, because it clearly is not AM there.
You know what?
Unless
Maybe
it's in Alaska.
You know what? Maybe this is intentional. Maybe this fixes the timeline of the lady in the diner saying it's 10 a.m.
I mean, and I mean, who knows? I mean, it was daylight when he went in there. I mean, not to say that
maybe this is maybe I was making jokes about it being the air conditioning, but maybe that's the problem. Maybe the sun never goes down in this reality.
maybe that's what it is, and because they are in like a desert, like very heatful.
Yeah.
Is that a word? Heatful.
And maybe that's
Very
why they go to
desert
Arizona, because that's the only place that's reasonably comfortable temperature.
The temperature's a little bit less
in this world that they live in. All right, so he knows it's 12:45. And he doesn't like take a nap, but he like lays down, and now he looks at his watch because he has, and it's set for 2:10.
Like, why did you set it for 2:10? I wish we had a close-up to see if it still said AM on there.
Yeah.
Can you see it on your screen better?
I can't.
No. Okay.
I'm gonna guess it says AM because it's not like they could have changed it. You know, like I'm gonna guess that PM would have been over one. You know, on a LCD type screen.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, so he sets his alarm for 2:10. Doesn't he need to be there at 3:30? I mean, he's just down like 8 steps. Maybe he has to get ready.
He's ready. Looks back down at his watch.
2:11.
I think he just keeps checking it because it's a calculator watch. He just keeps seeing if it's going to be 80,085, so he can be like, nice. That's the nicest Casio watch I've seen in a while. I like the leather work on it.
Well,
the prop designer really went all out on that one.
Well, I believe this takes place in the future, so maybe that's still yet to come for us. Like for us,
I can only hope.
In real life. So the only reason I included this so he goes up and I thought he killed the man, right? So his assistant, he does this crazy move which doesn't kill him, but it was like a whack. Like he crosses his arms and does this like whack, and then that guy falls down, and then he goes and punches our savior of humanity, who's in a wheelchair and blind, punches him in the gut, and then he goes down, and I thought they both died. I thought that's what an assassin does, but I was wrong. I gotta learn how to be an assassin better if I'm gonna speak to it, but So the police come and they chase him through this warehouse looking thing that's just conveniently adjacent to the hotel that they're staying in. And then here's his car that he gets into, not the red car.
And this is the second car that he possesses.
And so
is it the actual police that come after him too, or is it like henchmen? I don't remember.
No, this is the police.
It is the police, the futuristic police.
And so somebody
left a window open to let the AC out.
Sorry. So he gets in this car. And I don't know what's up with this car. I don't get it. It has the ducting, like the dryer hose thing, and so I don't know if that's for the air conditioning of the car or if this is some like cyborg, supercar. But it doesn't matter because he doesn't really use any of its abilities other than to peel out here, which he makes like screeching sounds, if you guys can hear this, on grass. See, that kind of looks like, I was thinking like flux capacitor type stuff here,
Maybe he just has sleep apnea.
Help him stay awake. Maybe it's for robots.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, that's where
I think you're onto something about that. In this, world, it is just like scorching hot out
because everybody's sweaty and gross.
Word, right? I feel like my words are long today.
And that's the only movie tonight where everyone's sweaty and gross.
Oh, thanks.
Tonight's theme is movies that are sweaty and gross.
Perfect.
And so here we go. So he pulls away. Here we go. Listen closely with this. On grass.
That had to be such an oversight, like because the fact that they even like do a close up of the grass.
Yeah.
you know, like nobody was thinking I don't think you can peel out on grass.
No,
At least
like,
you can, but you won't make that sound.
they're like, listen, we already explained in the movie it's really hot. The grass has become grassfault.
I was gonna say, yeah,
I like
grass
that one.
fault. Grasscrete. Grass. Okay.
So okay, so his car breaks down. And did I already? So this is so okay. So this is what he does. He knows he's being chased by not only the police, but he's being chased by the henchmen of his creator, right? And so we do know that he was a man at some point, but he has been, changed by,
Some percent of him has been.
70%, right? And so, anyway, so he goes to this junkyard and he swaps the car out with money to boot, by the way. So he I don't know if that was a TA that he was driving. That's what it looked like. So he trades his souped up, modified, extra peripherals TA for a blue Ford, is what the model is in the movie.
That's right. Yeah, there's a blue Ford. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Ford Blue. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ford Blue. So
You got that wrong.
Yeah. So Ford Blue. And then that car breaks down like minutes afterwards. It was a bad purchase. This, whatever, state they're in does not have a lemon law.
No lemon laws in the future Arizona.
But he needs to get rid of this car. So I just wanted to show this one scene because it's weird to me that, okay, he's wearing the dirty sweatshirt. This is the exact sweatshirt that Rocky Balboa wears in the training scenes. It has the same stains. You can verify it in shot to shot. All right. And then he's wearing this vest, right? And then he pushes this thing over a cliff. And then they show that he took his shirt off to do so.
And the explosion. Yep. Classic. And he puts his vest back on.
Yeah. So, okay.
Well, he didn't want to rip his vest,
Well, and also, maybe he didn't want to dirty the dirty shirt anymore. But also, why is he wearing a sweatshirt if it's that hot? What is going on in this movie?
I just had a realization. Maybe he put the shirt in the car to make it seem like he died.
Oh yeah,
like he burnt up, but
or maybe
he would have been burning up before.
Or maybe that's what made it more flammable, was that nasty, greasy shirt.
Just Molotov cocktail.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
He's like, I don't have a rag and gas, but I have probably as much gas in this shirt. So then he walks the rest of the way to beautiful Arizona.
I wonder where he was at that point.
Yeah, they don't know. And yeah. So he walks into this and I can respect this place because I'm from a small town where we had a place that was a gas station, a video store, an arcade, and a Maytag repair station. So this kind of place, reminds me of home. So this place is a bar, a hotel, a restaurant, and a host for arm wrestling events. And apparently it's in the middle of nowhere. So he walks in, and this lady is kind enough to take him in exchange
I'm looking for a place to stay.
Tasks around the place.
Come in.
And by the way, she's the only good actor that on any scene, in my opinion.
I did miss her when we were going through. I can't pronounce her last name, but it's Janet Argren. It's definitely a Swedish. But yeah, she didn't do. I mean, she did a lot of movies, but nothing that I quite remember her from. I mean, maybe Don't Play with Tigers from 1982.
I never saw the movie, but I've always agreed with the statement.
Yeah.
Or Red Sonja from '85.
Oh, I think I've seen Red Sonja.
Yeah, really. That's awesome.
I think I thought it was Red Sonja from Marvel, and then it wasn't. Okay, so he's gonna do menial tasks around the place, and she's gonna give him free room and board. Again, we got the duct, all these ducks, and then I actually included this scene for Corey's sake because we have a national treasure immortalized on this wall. Not him, not Bull Hurley. Bull Hurley. I can't say it today. Bull Hurley. It's not Bull Hurley. There we go. I missed it. One more.
It comes quick, doesn't it?
Blam.
It's a young Terry Funk.
Terry Funk.
Terry Funk.
And that's
Rest in peace. What does that say? What does that say?
1986.
1986 on it. Yeah. Okay. That's a tattoo on Terry Funk. He has it right. No, I'm just kidding.
And but yeah, this it just everything comes around. This harkens back to episode 1 of Do You Remember This Movie?
And that's not the only coming back. I mean, Lincoln might come back at any time. You never know.
You ever arm wrestle?
No.
Oh, there it is.
The dialogue here is just it's enthralling. It's like
Right.
It's a big deal around here. Those are the champs of the past 10 years. He's the tri-state champion now. I didn't hear your car pulling.
What states do you think she ref?
I walked.
Badly.
What was that?
What states? She said he's the tri-state champion now. Wouldn't that mean like
Arizona, New Mexico, and
Utah?
And Utah, but Colorado, that's not part of the Four Corners.
He hasn't secured that yet.
It's not the quad state.
Fuck.
Okay, so his job. Okay, so she's gonna explain it. I'll let her explain it.
Yeah.
It's a mountain, I know. But if you can manage to do it in a week, I'll give you room and board.
A week, she says.
It's a
I
deal.
didn't catch that.
Shit, it's almost 10. I haven't even started preparing.
Oop.
Solid shooter. I'll get that. The viewers already heard it. We got it.
Tonight's meal. Oh, if there's anything that you want, just call.
All right.
Man, this dialogue just keeps you in the movie. Like
Vest comes off immediately.
have you ever heard of arm wrestling? No. If you can do this in a week, you're free room and board. Okay. You're like these.
Oh crap! It's dinner time. 10 a.m.
Well, it's the Italians. They go by the show don't tell rule. So the most interesting thing in that scene is that she was smoking a cigarette and that he took off his shirt.
So yeah, thanks Corey for bringing that up. So she brings up that it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 a.m. I got to get dinner started. So we don't know what that means. Does it mean that it's 10 a.m. so we got to start dinner for 7 p.m. Like this is a 5-star type of joint, or is this 10 a.m. to get it done by noon? Or
Right.
Yeah, either way, not.
I guess. I mean, I kind of assumed that she had to get the crock pot going and for a good 8 hours to make the rainbow stew and get that going.
I love the references. If those of you guys who have no idea what we're talking about, that's because you haven't watched all of our episodes. Get back to it. Pause this one. It'll get caught up.
What's my room number?
12. But your workday isn't over until 5.
I finished. Unless there's something else you want me to do.
She did not believe him. She's like, no, you didn't.
So he stacks all that wood, and that wasn't wood in the beginning. That was just junk. So we stacked all the wood just nice and everything here.
He turned all that junk into wood.
That's
I don't know. There's something in there. There's something in there, Corey. I don't have it right now, but
oh, that rascal in his cleaning.
He was supposed to do that in a week. He did it in what, 7.5 hours? Or
10 to
6.5.
6?
6.5.
Okay,
It was 4:30.
Oh, still okay.
And we don't. I guess we don't know if that was 4:30 a.m.
Yeah,
we don't-
we don't know.
But
I
she
mean,
said
he
he had to go
also-
till 5.
Right, and he also walked across the desert in assumedly what before sundown. So if he got the car, there's some math not adding up here.
I don't think there is a sunset or a sunrise.
We're just accepting that in this world. Okay.
Yep. The sun is always up. There is no night. Always light.
Yeah,
Dr. Seuss line.
there was a movie like that. We'll talk about that some other day. But there was a movie that was about the sun never going down, and that was the last day on Earth. And anyway, I did not capture this entire fight here, match, but this is our first arm wrestling match of the movie. This gentleman right here, Raul is the character's name. I forgot the actor's name, but a notable thing about this guy is he wrote Caligula.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah.
We also have Samwise Gamgee on steroids in the background there.
Oh, yeah. Was it?
The guy in the striped shirt's just waiting for the dinner to get done.
We're gonna bet on whether Culpepper.
Just throw that little that in there real quick.
Yeah. The only thing I remember from 51st Dates is that they mentioned the Vikings. And I was like, yeah. Oh, then there's more movie. Oh, oops. Okay.
Anybody know this piece of rat turd? I'll break your goddamn arm, cabron.
Okay. Here is this is a combination of scenes here, but this is my favorite scene in this entire movie. Like this with its companion next scene of this, So what they've done is the super important man that got almost assassinated by our super assassin. When they were doing like forensics, they were able to mock up an image of the weapon used to almost nearly assassinate our target here. And so they're trying to figure out what this could be. Now, remember, these people don't know the title of the movie. Searching.
I like
Come up with anything?
According to the computer, this is what the weapon used against Mosley looks like.
Okay, so she's like the forensics. These are both police officers, futuristic police officers.
Any idea what it can be?
Futuristic police officers. They just look like normal people in regular clothes, too.
Yeah,
No,
but
future.
I pointed out because I was confused when I watched this movie because she's dressed just like those people that work for the guy, the blind guy. Because they all have like this, they're all wearing kind of like scrubs, but like with like neckties and stuff. And so I mean, I pointed that out for the viewer.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she works for that guy, but I think she works for the same, police division that he does. I'm guessing.
Not even a blind man's guess?
Let me try.
Oh,
Which
kinda
by the
mean.
way, what was that?
That
Kinda
line.
mean.
Yeah, like
Because the blind man's the one who got punched.
Yeah, you're investigating his near murder, and you're just a blind man's guess. The blind man is still unconscious there, jerk nose. All right, here we go. All right, so here's the computer. And I love that this movie just does not assume your intelligence at all, because it puts it on the screen for you to read. But if it was too quick for you, or if those are too big of words for you to make out on your own,
There's a weapon for every case, Inspector. Take your pick.
he's going to read them for us.
Paperweight, sculpture, iron, crowbar, club, gun butt, hand.
Yes. Just like astonishing.
the license number.
So now we're back at
Ashtray.
the gun butt iron sculpture. What could it be?
I just like the ashtray thing. Just the Big Lebowski scene where he gets picked up by the Malibu police and he just throws the mug at him. I'm just imagining, but with an ashtray.
Yeah.
Oh.
Really, man?
I love is that the same scene with the bowling ball, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Where he's like, "What is that?" He's like, "Oh, you don't golf much, do you?"
Clearly, you don't golf. That's the first. scene in the
Obviously, you're
movie.
not a golfer.
You're not a golf.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're back at the junkyard where he did the car swap. Okay. And so these two guys work for the villain, and so they are trying to buy back his vehicle before the feds, the police and everything, track this thing down, right? Because everybody, it's not just the police, it's the federal. They're looking for this guy because of his near 99% successful assassination of a high profile figure, right? So I wanted to point out this
We'll
scene.
be out the car, and I'll pay you good money for that piece of junk.
It's interesting.
Ain't going anywhere. Already pulled the engine off it. How's $1,000 sound?
So he's gonna give him
All right.
$1,000. He pulls it out and gives it to the guy.
Come on into the office.
So he's going to track down the license plate of the vehicle that he gave them, and then he bought the souped up TA.
Here it is. Here, 1982 Ford Blue, license number WDT3321, Arizona. Hey! Well, what in the hell?
Okay, so he didn't take his $1,000 back.
Yeah, I just shot him. Like, what was the point of any of that? Like, you might as well just got the info. Yeah, I mean, obviously you should have. Got the info and shot him, which you did, but take your money back.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
you mentioned something pretty obvious in the scene. The point of all of that was a 7-Up plug.
Yep. I mean, it looks like a cherry 7-Up, I think.
Ooh, fancy.
all right, so they're
Did they fly in on a helicopter? I
They
don't
did.
remember.
They
They did.
did.
Okay, I was
But
like,
see,
where did
that's-
that helicopter come from?
and that's what I'm saying. Like they could have just not killed the guy and just not said who they were and still torched the car.
It was pretty unnecessary to kill that guy.
But if it was me, and again, as I mentioned earlier, I don't know how many more times I have to mention this. I am not an assassin, but I would have taken my money back. I would have, not only does money not grow on trees, there's clearly not very many trees where they are. Okay, and I just want to show this little bit. Mr. Wilson. All right.
Bright blonde hair.
All right,
Trent,
so
don't we have to address the helicopter situation, or are we gonna do that
yeah,
later?
let's talk. Yeah, no, you can talk about the helicopter. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I think we both have a fun fact about the helicopter. So
Mine's not fun.
Well,
Mine's-
yeah.
Mine's extremely tragic, but maybe Cam's a little bit more of an assassin than I am.
We saw one helicopter in that scene. We'll see a different one or two in later scenes, I think. But one helicopter has English writing on it, and another helicopter has Italian writing on it. And that's because the actor who played the bad guy, who forgot his $1,000, he was a staunch union man, and SAG. What was it? They were on strike, or no? It was just a non-union movie, I think.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, and so he only would shoot films in Italy. So any of the shots in Arizona, no, he was out for those. So they had to do some clever camera work, which maybe wasn't so clever in the end. Trent.
Well, and what was that actor's name?
No, shoot. I'm not the casting guy. I'm the synopsis guy.
Oh gosh, my bad. Now I'm scrolling. Oh, sidebar. Francis Turner is his name in this movie. Sorry. Going back to the beginning. Which guy are we looking at?
You had it written down. That's why. Okay. That's good.
I just saw that when I was scrolling. Which guy are we looking up? I'm sorry. I lost myself there. We're looking for. It's hard to tell. I can't tell by looking at their IMDb.
And I thought it was Saxon that wasn't the one that wouldn't go to America to film the scenes.
Oh, was it Saxon?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm right. Okay. So
you're right.
you
My
just threw
bad.
me off. I'm not trying to correct
I
you,
did.
Cam.
Oops.
No. Okay.
So it was Francis Turner.
Yeah. So no, the gentleman that gave the man the $1,000. That his name is Claudio Casanelli, right? And he dies in a helicopter scene. That's actually coming up where when our hero Paco is yelling out Linda on the bridge. They got too close to that bridge. The pilot and the actor died. The actual pilot and the actor acting as an assassin's assassin, and died in real life on the movie set. But Cam, I think your story about the Actors Guild, I believe that was George Saxon.
Yeah, you're right. I was crossing some wires there. My bad.
Yep, and he's the main bad guy that we'll see.
Right, he's the big bad. Yes. Yeah.
Like he has a real heart-wrenching scene at the end.
And he also died in real life.
I bet you're...
Practical effects, 100% in this movie.
I included this.
There's no expense. Yeah.
I included this scene mostly because, you know what? You're in a kitchen of a restaurant. Put a shirt on.
Professional fighter or something like that.
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Sorry, I have bacon on.
You must be a
betting on you,
professional
Sam.
fighter or something like that. No. Okay.
So now we're getting to the second arm wrestling feature of the feature. So in this, they're doing it. They said Indian style wrestling, and I'm not trying to make a cultural faux pas there. It's what they say in the movie. But what I assumed they were going to do is, when I was a young lad on the playground, people do what they would call Indian wrestling at the time, was where you would kind of like arm wrestling, but you were standing up and you would have your feet together, like sideways and together, and who could like pull the person over is what
Right.
And so when they said that in this movie, I was like, oh, exciting. I'm going to see this because I've never been certain of the rules and I never really played it.
Take me back to the playground.
And one quick timeout, folks, before we have to do another PSA. This was back in the 1930s when that type of nomenclature was okay. So we're gonna give Trent a pass on this one.
In the 1930s.
I'm repeating it. I apologize beforehand.
No, you're fine, Trent.
So in this movie, what the thing they said is regular arm wrestling, but there's a box on each side that when the hand comes down, it opens up this box and a venomous snake comes out and bites you.
I mean, that's really the only way to do arm wrestling.
Yeah.
But the thing is that whoever wins, their hand also
is over.
And they're on top too.
Well, especially if you're bound together, like another movie that we've talked about.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've forgotten all about that movie. Let's look at this one.
Kill him. Ready?
I drive truck, break arms, and arm wrestle. It's what I love to do. It's what I do best.
Bull Hurley's back. You know what would be cool is if Lincoln Hawk was here, and if he like just slammed Bull Hurley's hand down and then he's like, Hawks eat snakes.
Ooh, I like that.
Don't let him up. Come on. Now, come on. Back away.
Over the top. Life doesn't meet you halfway.
Come on, Blanco. Yeah. He still ain't down yet. Down. Not that way. Come on. Yeah, come on. He's coming back. Push it back, Blanco.
This guy's arm only feels 68 to 70%.
Yeah.
Blanco, come on.
That's right.
Their arm getting locked
There's
in.
some sort of like mechanism, yeah.
Oh, did something come and grab his hand down?
Yeah.
Like one of those slap bands? Like,
Do you think as soon as he lost, he was like, double elimination?
I still got this other hand, man. But yeah, I just wish there was more dialogue during that. Like his hands, they feel like they're hands of steel.
Some sort of metal.
But only like
probably enriched.
But only like 30% or 70% or whatever it is. Doesn't feel like total steel, but 70%.
Oh.
I mean, that shot right there looks like 100%.
That shot right there was why they had to make it rated R, because that was some blood. Okay.
Well, and also I love that the snakes are it's 3 different snakes. I mean, they're clearly. I mean, there could be more, but they're not even the same color.
Or species.
Yeah. Hey Cam, listen. This was made in the 1930s, where we.
They didn't have the taxonomy of snakes completed.
We just called them all snakes back then.
They were all just snakes, man. I don't know why this woke culture differentiating between rattle and
cobra, garden. How many snakes can we name?
We're just on a slippery slope right into the recycle bin on my desktop here. All right, here we go. So here's part 2 of my favorite scene. And so this is where they have so now that he's done more damage, they were able to then somehow I wish we got to know how they're getting these images, but they were within the photo. She says that it's in the photographs of the crime scene. They were able to piece together the murder weapon, the likely murder weapon, and so I really love this scene.
I am positive the weapon can only be a hand.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. That can't be a hand. I'm pretty sure that was a gun butt. I'm certain that was a sculpture.
So the fact that he says impossible, but yet when they were going through the options, he was like, a hand.
Yeah.
Like that could be it. But now he's like, impossible.
And I think my first gut instinct on this was that these actors weren't seeing that screen, that this was put in afterwards, right?
I would agree with you on that one.
But now thinking about this, given some time, he was reading the screen on the other scene though.
He was, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So no, you got to blame the actors on this one. They could have been like, wait, I'm not going to say I think it's a hand, and I'm not going to say that's impossible. It's clearly a hand. We're going to look like we can't figure out this stuff here.
Well, and the whole program, like what they're trying to do is see what the object looks like on that green screen, and then it works. Like the program works accurately. It's like, nope, that's not a hand.
Impossible.
Why? Impossible. Never doubt technology. Write that down.
It would have been better if they said, like, it says it's a hand, but it also says it's made of metal. And then that would have made it more like where the question marks come from. All right. I think she does a very good job of being the damsel in distress here. But I think our other female in this scene is just ridiculous. I don't know who the costuming department, person in charge was, but this person is they're wearing like
what are they wearing?
Yeah, it's like they couldn't finish the costume, so they're like, I have some saran wrap from my sandwich.
Well, yeah, it's all the budget went to HVAC. So.
Again, you still see all those all these hoses. I don't get it. So I didn't mention that Cellophane Girl is also a cyborg. All right, and I just want to, as we're hearkening back to other episodes that we've done, here is our favorite character from the Coward of the County about to rear its ugly head. It's the same tar.
They put it back together with Scotch tape.
I was prepared for the beard. I'll just say I was prepared for the beard. Prepare for the beard. I like that.
Well, and so here we go. We got more stuff kind of compared to Over the Top. We got some trucks, right? So this bad guy, the guy who wrote Caligula, right? He is. We're not really certain about his character's motive at this point. So is he just mad that he lost that arm wrestling? So essentially what we're trying to say for our viewers is Caligula guy has now joined the bad guys.
Right. Because he lost and because he got in an argument. Did he even arm wrestle? He arm wrestled? He did the first time.
And lost.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so
he's pissed, He lost at arm wrestling. He got,
He's fired up.
He's fired up. I like that. He got fired up and now he's just like, I'm going to join this side because we both agree we don't like this 30% human, 70% robot, 100% lethal.
Yeah, well, but here's my problem with this is that he's clearly friends with Bull Hurley because he was like, after he lost, he was like, I'm going to get Bull Hurley in here. And he, Blanco or whatever they call him in this movie, but we know what it really is.
We know who he really is.
Yeah. But he's like, I'm going to get him and he's going to beat you at arm wrestling. But then he gets beaten and this guy still joins the bad guys. And in just a moment, we're going to see which side Bull Hurley took.
Oh, you're dead!
This was also made in the 30s before there was tempered glass and also with the coating, so to protect the driver. But also this is where Paco. I think this is the first time we get to see him do the face squish, and then he just and that's his move for the rest of the movie for some reason, except at the end.
You get like 3 of those. If this was a video game, you get like 3 of those.
It's gonna recharge.
All right, and then we get our here we go.
Give me the gun.
Is there anything I can do for you, champ?
That's respect.
And by the way, he calls him champ. Was that a sanctioned arm wrestling match?
I mean, no, I don't think anyone's beat him yet until he did. Until Paco did, so he's the champ, unless he was saying like, "You the lift champ." I mean,
it could have been like sport shooter ace
chief. Yeah, but
it's clearly just like a life debt for the snake save, the snake capitation.
He did save his life.
And we didn't bring up, by the way, that just the physics. I don't know physics, so in the chat. In the comments, please tell me I'm wrong. Tell me how this is supposed to work. But you have a snake on your hand, and a metal hand chops its head off. How does that not damage your 100% human hand of Bo Hurley?
No,
it's the 70% metal part cut the snake,
but the
30%. Just hit the hand. It was just like a high five.
Oh, got it.
It was just like a high five. Yeah.
All right.
That actually checks out.
Yeah. I'm all good with it now. I'm all good. We're all good.
Yeah, Blanco, get her to a hospital, would you?
I sure will. I know they're after you. And I'm with you, champ.
Thanks, Blanco.
Good luck.
Come on, Lena.
Get in! Get in! Hurry up!
As she's getting in.
Now is this as she's getting in, get in. Is this the second helicopter coming up now?
No, this is still their helicopter.
Oh, okay.
Go on! Get out of here!
Like this is still the bad guy's helicopter.
Go on, get out! You got it!
It's your only chance. Jump, Linda!
We're going too fast!
You don't have any reason to try. You can't outrun a helicopter unless it's going through like a tunnel or something, right? So he could have
Or
slowed
it's
down.
near a bridge.
He could have slowed down.
No! Linda!
So how many times do you think they had to do that take? No, Linda.
I think
Do it again. Do it again.
I think it'd be great if he would have been like, "Hey," because there was hay on the back of the.
No, hey. Missed opportunity again.
Blanco. Oh well, no, you're supposed to be sad about Linda. Oh, Linda. Yeah, nobody's sad about Blanco. I guess you know he's yesterday's bread really with him not winning that match. Really, you know, and also he kind of punked out by not getting bit by the snake. Really, he has his rep is shreds, tattered. All right, here we go. Here's the end of our beloved movie. I did include some. So you're gonna hear some beeping sound. It's not your fire. It's not your smoke alarm. It's the laser that they brought to take out Paco here, right? So it's a laser that they don't explain it, but I believe that the beeping is that this thing's going to self-destruct, because then we see it self-destruct. But they
got to be what it is, yeah.
They don't explain it, and I can only believe that all of these things that I'm second guessing in this movie are inquiring about in this movie is because it was in Italian and they cut it out because, you know, for the English version. I don't know. Squish. It's like, man, dude, okay, you're squeezing somebody's helmet and blood's coming out. You can stop. It's done. It's done. It's done. You know, you're not going to get more juice out of this squeeze. All right, so there's the laser, and it's flashing. I almost pointed at the screen like you guys can see what I'm pointing at. But it's flashing, and that's because it's gonna blow up. But don't kill me.
That was Plan B.
Yeah.
You know, expert genius plans. Plan A, kill him. Plan B, don't kill me.
Yeah, don't kill me. I mean, I've been trying very actively to kill you, but now that you have the upper hand, John Doge with the upper hand. Now that you have the upper hand, don't kill me.
And I didn't kill Linda. A guy that looks just like me in a helicopter did.
Yeah, I'm on the ground.
And that guy had way better aim, or was maybe just aiming at an entire lorry full of hay.
Yeah, that guy shot a truck from a helicopter. I was 7 feet in front of you and couldn't shoot you with this laser, this rail gun, with a, you know.
Don't kill me. You're the one who told me to have no pity for my enemies. Remember?
All right, and I will come clean that I did alter the audio on this scene, just for viewing's sake.
Please, don't kill me.
You made one mistake, Turner. You thought you could own me by controlling my brain. But what you didn't realize was that you don't own a man until you control his heart.
Finish him. Kano wins.
That's so perfect. If only his eye went like red.
I should have put the score like fatality. I should have put. Yeah. You know what? I'll do that in the edit.
Here we go.
We'll see it. Our viewers already saw it, and they're like, "Why is he talking about it?" I already saw that. That's exactly what you did.
You can become a man again. They know now that you were being used. You were normal before you ended up in that laboratory. And that you saved the best part of you, your soul.
Your soul of steel.
You really think so? Look at this.
God! Your brain is bionic too? Where is this 30% of man that we're finding?
Oh, God. You see?
Look, he's using LEDs. How energy conscious.
Maybe Paco Quiroc never even existed.
And in. Oh yeah, and then the end.
Yeah, so I paused at the end so we can read this. If somebody wants to give this a.
Cam's the reader here.
It was a day in our near future. The era of the cyborg had begun.
Dun dun dun.
But that doesn't make any sense. The guy that created him. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
you know
the day that he came to life was the day the era of the cyborg had begun, right?
Yeah, and also like, okay, maybe we're wrong. Maybe because I also thought that Paco killed the first two people that we see him, engaged with in the beginning of the movie. I thought he killed both those people, but they're both alive. So maybe John Saxon's character survived that. Maybe
Yeah.
with the heart being
he had one of those genetically modified pig hearts put in.
Yeah, he had the untamed heart from that Christian Slater movie. The cyborg era had begun. It doesn't make sense that the guy who created the cyborg just died.
Yeah, arguably it only existed for this one film.
And we only know of two cyborgs, and he killed the other one back at the hotel diner, arm wrestling match place, and what else it does? Bar, All right.
I think they sell firewood too.
Couple things I'm reading on IMDb here. Plot details. I have to go over a couple with this movie. So you got arm wrestling contest. You have breaking a rule, police corruption, World Trade Center, Manhattan, New York City, Chinatown, Manhattan, New York City. Man wears eyeglasses.
Oh, you know what? I tell you,
man uses wheelchair.
I have a whole section on my movie shelf of man wears eyeglasses. It's pretty much my favorite subgenre of film.
We got a couple more. Man kicks woman.
They don't. Those movies typically don't make it over here, but
yeah.
Thrown through a wall.
Oh,
so, okay.
That was a wall, not a door.
There's 413 of these, so we don't have to go through all of them. But those are just a couple that stuck out to me.
Was there one that says hand? That's impossible.
Maybe it should go through them all.
Hashtag impossible hand.
Might have to input our own plot detail.
I looked to see if there was any merchandising for this film, right? And I only found one thing, and it seems to be current, not from 1986. I think this movie was in 86. I only found one thing, and that's this shirt. And so I know it's going to be pretty small on most people's screens, so I'm going to read it to you. It says, Hands of Steel, analysis complete, 99.9% match. By the way, I don't realize that. Is that what they said? Was it a 99.9% match, and then have all of the 8 choices? How could that seems like a lot of percent match for 8 things?
Ashtray is still my favorite one.
Like if you had a DNA match on the Maury Povich show and you were 99%, you would be the father. Yet this is 99.9% match, and it could be an ashtray, crowbar, paperweight, club, sculptor, gun butt, iron, or hand.
I was doing a little research on it while we were talking too, and I did come across like a couple other T-shirts.
Oh wow!
Yeah, this is on sale right now too, only for a couple more days.
Did you make that and put it on Etsy?
I found the green one that you showed, and then Hands of Steel. I mean, obviously these are probably just made in
officially licensed
my basement, but yeah.
No, there's other things down there.
We don't talk about that. Yeah, they're tied up. They're fine.
Well, it has all those kicked woman movies.
So couple things before we move on to the next movie, before Cam goes into that, I wanted to lighten things up a little bit here, right? 'Cause I really want to tell a joke. All right, you cool with that? I think you are. So just so everybody knows that tonight I am reminded of something that happened to me the other day. So I went to the post office to get some stamps, and I waited in line usually like everyone does for about 3 hours. And just as I was about to get to the window, an announcement came on the overhead and said, "If anyone just needs stamps, move to the other line." So I moved to the other line. And then this giant boot came down from the ceiling and stamped me on the head. Man, do I have a headache? Yeah! Thank you.
His head hurts.
And once again, it's time for the synopsis with Cam. The synopsis with Cam.
All right, folks, we got a very special second feature for you here. The Dark Backward. 2 trash boys get down and dirty in the slimiest, filthiest industry known to man. These greasy clowns are trying to make it in showbiz, but only one of them has the riz. Follow the story of our 2 equally important protagonists, Marty, the side-splitting and growth-growing straight man, and Gus, the lovable loser who slurps Alpo and a few other things. See who comes out on top in the ultimate showdown of lack of talent.
Wow. I'm just gonna start off and saying this might have been one of the most disgusting movies I've ever watched.
Yeah, it makes me feel gross. I liked it.
It definitely does.
But
I did too. I did, but I didn't.
It's like one of those things you're not supposed to like popping blackheads, or like
Nobody likes to do it, but after it's done, it's very satisfying.
Yeah. I don't know. Cleaning your fingernails.
I described this movie to one of my friends as the trailer park Dumb and Dumber.
And I don't want to. Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I also wrote a synopsis.
Did you? Yeah. Let's hear it.
And I sent it to Cam for inspiration. It wasn't even for inspiration. I just thought Cam would use it. But lo and behold, here we are. Oh, I should put the cover of the movie.
I gotta pull it up here now. I loved it.
I got the purple hat on with the purple movie. Cool. Let's hear what you got.
Well, what Trent got? All right. So, a mild-mannered, temporarily 2-armed garbage man and his corpse-licking accordionist companion join forces to break into the glamorous weeknight entertainment industry. I gotta say, I probably was inspired by that, although written simultaneously. You can't claim nothing, Trent. Well, I got lawyers.
I have timestamps. All right, let's see if we can figure out who was in this movie.
Buckle up, it's the cast and crew with Corey.
God, who writes those jingles?
I really like that one.
Well, first things first. Marty is the main character in this movie, played by Judd Nelson. As most people probably remember him from his role as Santa in Cancel Christmas from 2010. Next up, you got Marty's best friend, Gus, who is played by Bill Paxton. And I mean, personally, I'm pretty sure everyone remembers him. I mean, how I remember Bill Paxton, rest in peace, by the way, was from Spy Kids 2.
Thanks for finally including one that I would know.
Spy Kids 2. Island of the Lost Dreams. There's another island there that we talked about tonight. But last but not least, we have Jackie Chrome. That is the character's name, played by Wayne Newton. And Wayne Newton is probably best known for being Wayne Newton himself. That's about it. You look at his credits on IMDb, literally at all. I'm pretty sure every movie he's been in besides this one, he's played Wayne Newton.
Yeah,
I'm serious, you know.
Yeah.
And you have some other folks in here too, but those are the three main that we wanted to touch base on.
Well, you're not going to give a shout out to Marty's girlfriend?
What, Laura Flynn Boyd or
Laura Flynn Boyle represents second Donna Hayward we've had on the show. Twin Peaks fan out there.
You know, and I it's funny because I was gonna pitch some more movies to you guys, and they also have more Twin Peaks actors in them. So we have more to come. You know, I never noticed until just now. As Corey was talking, I kind of got entranced as I was watching. I like to watch whoever's speaking, you know, but Corey has the box art right below him, and that font is kind of like Rick and Morty, where maybe they should re-release this as Gus and Marty.
I like it.
So yeah, this movie is weird. If you want a good weird ride, here you go. So let's get into the clips. We got. It starts off with Marty is a struggling young comedian, and let's just watch. This is how he starts his set.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marty Malt.
And so he's sweaty, he's gross, and so is everybody else in this movie. Everybody is just sweaty and gross, and we're about to see how gross we can get. Oh. Go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, I don't even think that, like, in that opening scene when he's doing the comedy, when he's doing his jokes and whatnot, I don't think he even looks like the most saddest person out there. I think it's this guy. Like, they do it, and he looks like he's crying and he's just staring into the ground, and just listening to Marty do his wonderful, wonderful jokes.
Yeah, and this world that they live in is almost as confusing as the last movie we just watched here. The world they live in, we don't know if it's in the future or if it's in the past. It's a little hard to discover. You know, I mean, they have
the present.
Yeah, they have TV, but nothing looks very modernized. And even though this was made in the early '90s, but everything is covered in garbage in this movie. And sweat. So
and they're garbage men who work for what is it, Trent? Is it Blumps?
Yeah,
Blumps. But Blumps also makes like everything in this world, like squeezable bacon.
Yeah.
And there's something in the background in one of the Wayne Newton scenes. I think we'll see it later.
Dog food, stir fried in castor oil, topped with minced clams in a sugary cream sauce.
Okay, so I'm gonna back this up here. Okay, here we go. So here is Gus, and this is just one of many scenes with Gus. There we go. One of the many scenes with Gus where he is just being ridiculous, and you get exhausted watching Bill Paxton act in these scenes.
Man.
I hope he got a break. You know,
he must have been exhausted when he got home every night. He's just screaming the whole time.
So he's talking about the scene. I kind of cut it halfway in here, but they're talking about the grossest things they've ever ingested.
Topped with minced clams in a sugary cream sauce with pimento and chives. No one eats that. No one eats that. Show them what I had for breakfast this morning.
Dude. That's a nutcase. Look at him.
Ooh, that stinks.
So he's about to eat this, and I find it very difficult to hear what he says it is. I don't know if he says dog poo or dog food.
I'm gonna go with food just for the sake of not puking.
Making it through this scene. Yeah.
But I mean,
it looks like poo.
And also he's trying to really gross them out.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna say how nasty it smells.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that one until right now.
Anyway, so that's what kind of movie you're in. This is in the beginning. This is in the beginning of the movie. This is where we start. You can only
this is establishing.
Yeah, before that was the dumpster scene, right? Or is that after?
Oh, I don't know where we are in the movie at this point. Yeah, but yeah, I did not include the
right.
I did not include
There's no way you would be able to do that.
Yeah, watch the movie if you want to see the dumpster.
The city dump. Yeah, like the garbage pile. Yeah. So, well, I'll describe what's happening. Is
Please do.
So okay, so all the city streets are just covered in garbage, and these are Gus and Marty are also garbage men, right? So they're what is their job? I guess is to get as much of that as they can and get it out to the dump. And so when they're out in the dump, they also like to use that as kind of their shopping spree. And so Marty. And that scene establishes kind of their character, right? Because Marty is a good-natured person. He's not a good comedian, but he's a good-natured person. And he goes around looking throughout the dump and looking throughout the garbage, and he finds an Oriental rug that he goes and gets for his girlfriend because it looks like it's barely been used. And then Gus, finds something to eat first.
It finds like a children's lunchbox and eats the moldy sandwich, and then stumbles upon a pile of like clearly like dead wrapped in plastic. Twin Peaks. He pulls it open and has some dessert.
Yeah, so he's licking this dead lady.
Dessert.
And you know what? I until you just said it, I kind of forgot that she was wrapped in plastic. What if that was the other cyborg from Hands of Steel?
From Hands of Steel.
That was covered in the plastic.
It could be same world. It definitely could be.
I don't see why not.
Different part of the country.
I'm for the rest of all these clips, I'm going to be looking for the ducting.
I usually take the two movies we review, and I usually just put them in the same world.
Yeah, why not?
And over the top.
I do that with so many movies. It's really fun to watch, like Revenge of the Nerds and then Top Gun. Anyway, moving on.
You mind if I eat this chicken?
All right. So I'm going to give Corey all the credit in the world for this scene for us to include it because I did not notice it. And if this is acting, Bill Paxton is one of the greatest actors ever because he makes the viewer mirror what he's doing, right? But also I want to point out that this is some Blump's pork juice.
Oh. That's okay.
So he's asking if he can eat some of this chicken, this green moldy.
Looks like the Chinese buffet down the street.
I like that it's falling off because that's what gross. Like if you leave chicken in the fridge too long, it just falls off.
Yeah.
Nasty.
So what have you been doing?
Just polishing up that new material.
Oh yeah, right. I wanted to hear that. Well, you should have told me earlier. I'd have come by. I would have.
Which he did, just for the
100% he did. Yeah,
and he was too busy eating gross stuff off the with these ladies.
Okay, let's hear it. This is gonna be great. I know it.
Well, okay.
So I'm just gonna try.
So good.
So I can just try to get that to come back here. Here we go. So he gags on this.
This is gonna be great. I know it.
Well, okay.
And that's not the grossest thing in the movie. It's not the grossest thing. All right, moving on. So
I think the other scene was a little bit grosser for me, especially because it probably was dog poop, and he's eating it and spreading it on his body, and he's just completely out of control. So to me, that's my vote for the grossest scene in the movie.
I would go with the licking the dead lady.
Yeah, that was pretty rough to watch.
You guys have never done that.
Okay, everyone down in the comments.
I'm kidding. Yes, I am kidding.
Yeah, that's oh man,
My bad. I crossed the line.
How many funerals has Corey been kicked out of?
Everyone.
They're like, there's gonna be a lunch afterwards. He's like, there was lunch during. So, all right, I'm thin ice. All right, so here's where we get to the crux of the movie. Is I'm using my mouse to just be irritating here, but what you guys see here is okay. Marty grew this like bump on his back. And Corey, you describe that scene when he goes to the doctor to find out what the lump is.
Oh yeah, so he goes to the doctor, and the doctor is played by James
Caan.
James Caan. Sounds like a Star Trek character, James Caan. Anyway,
James Caan.
Yeah, and so he has this oversized, what looks like an oversized pimple almost, and it's like ginormous. Like it's probably the size of, I don't know, a little hand maybe. And they don't know what to do with it, so he just like circles it, and then he brings the nurse in and they talk about it for a little bit, and then they say, well, I could remove it for $250, and he's like, I don't got $250. Does she offer him like another way to pay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Or how does that how did that go down again?
Yeah.
Like the second he walks in, she's just like all over him.
Yeah.
It's this greasy little trash boy.
Who plays the nurse again? Is that Kitty? Is that her name in the movie? Or no idea? Yeah. Claudia Christensen. You guys familiar with who she is? No.
No.
I think that's the nurse. I'm not 100% sure, but anyways, yeah. So, and then he goes home and he's, literally sleeps on it and wakes up the next day, and lo and behold,
you didn't mention that before he left, they put a Band-Aid.
Oh, that's right. They put one Band-Aid over it.
I should have clipped it, but it's like it's like a 3-inch tall protrusion from his back.
Yeah.
And they put like a Johnson & Johnson Band-Aid just around it.
Which I think like half of it didn't even stick to his skin,
So now at this point, it has grown. And so we're going to show the viewers here what it has grown into.
Oh, man. Oh, no.
We're going to be rich.
Can you feel this?
Yes.
So he's grown a hand. It makes me think of Deadpool.
Yeah.
He has like the little legs, just gross. Okay, so the hand has gotten bigger. So he has now decided to use it as part of his comedy act, right?
I thought it was a good idea. I tried stamp collecting, building the little ships in a bottle. None of it seemed right. But I finally found the hobby that suits me. I'm reconstructing tomatoes from ketchup.
I thought that was a good joke. Oh, I don't. I guess that's not the right scene yet. Okay, hold on. So now he brings. His problem's gotten worse. Okay, his problem's gotten worse. He brings back James Caan. There's the giant arm, right? So the Wayne Newton scene that we just saw kind of is blurred right over that. But he invited Wayne Newton to come and see his comedy act, and Wayne Newton was not impressed.
Jackie Chrome,
sorry. And so now the arm has grown into full size. Okay, and so he wants to show. I don't know why I included this.
Well, because it's the human xylophone with Tony Cox.
Oh yeah, because Tony, from
Bad Satin.
Yeah.
Bad Satin. Bad Santa. Yeah. Bad Satin. He loved the human xylophone.
Yeah.
He was like,
that was the exact same reaction I've had every time I've watched this movie. Standing ovation.
Standing O. Human xylophone.
All right, so here we get to the real thing. So our two friends have joined forces to get to their act, and so we got Gus playing the accordion and accompanying the jokes told by Marty, and after he tells a joke, he turns around to show the third arm.
Yeah. That seems kind of familiar to me. Here, I got this going on here. You can see it.
Oh, hold on, Corey. Hold on. There we go.
Is that your guitar playing arm?
Put a Band-Aid on it.
See, now Trent finally gets why the movie is funny.
The old third arm trick.
Oh my gosh.
Would you use like a glove and a broomstick for that?
Oh, you're getting
man.
to the end. Spoiler alert. Okay, so
did you see it all right?
Yes, we did.
It looks more like a tail on me, but
okay, so this is my favorite scene of the entire movie. So they're trying to get into this club on a regular basis, and so Jackie is with trying to promote Marty and Gus and see what he thinks of their act. That's pretty much what Corey just looked like.
So here's the deal. 2 nights a week. That's all I'm asking. What's a measly 2 nights a week?
Jackie, I like you, but this act, it stinks. It is the dumbest thing that I have ever seen. And what's with the guy on the accordion? What the hell does he keep running all around for?
What's the matter? You don't know anything about comedy?
So I just this is the very scene that made me like this movie. So this I don't know who this actor is, but he is amazing. He's the best thing in this movie.
well, and just to back up a little bit, so Jackie Chrome said that was probably going to be like that was their ticket, like for him to move from side to side on the stage.
Yeah, so Gus is switching sides between jokes.
Yep.
So here's the deal.
All right, one more time. I just love like his voice, his inflections.
Does he have his mustache drawn on there? I can't tell.
Not
a
this
little
one.
bit, little bit.
Oh, a little bit.
Little bit.
I like that they clearly just like had a crayon on the side of the set for him to just like put it back on every time he sweated off.
That's all I'm asking. What's a measly
Jackie.
All right, I can't stress enough. This whole delivery is so epic.
I like you, but this act, it stinks. It is the dumbest thing that I have ever seen. And what's
I love that's why I guess that little bit. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen because that's where I feel like the movie got me. I understood what I was seeing.
with the guy on the accordion? What the hell does he keep running all around for?
What's the matter? You don't know anything about comedy?
All right. So
You don't know anything about comedy?
So here's a dream sequence, which I'm usually not a fan of, but I like Marty's dream sequence. So his dream is with his girlfriend here. And I can't help but, I know Cam keeps thinking Twin Peaks, but I keep thinking Wayne's World, because she was I'm just waiting for her to give somebody a gun rack, right? So she's his dream. He only has 2 arms, and she's back with him. So in the movie, she had dumped him for having a 3rd arm. This movie is it makes you think.
Well, and you mentioned the dumping. It's when we realize Gus is actually a really nice guy.
Oh yeah, explain that.
Yeah, because Gus goes and immediately starts hitting on her, and when she explains why she left Marty, his reaction is like, What type of guy would do that to you? Grow a third arm out of his back?
That's no way to treat
no way to treat a woman.
Thank you. I was looking for the quote there. Yeah, that's no way to treat a woman.
And that's why I've been known as like the romantic, because I have never grown a third arm. Like that.
Yeah, apparently I'm a piece of trash because I, got that third arm there.
And then I just a glaring omission from Corey's cast and crew.
Oh yeah,
is our friend. So again, with 2 Wayne's World actors in this. So here's Rob Lowe. Before he got his teeth fixed.
I just got this feeling about Desi. He's gonna be a really big star.
And there's Rob Lowe.
And that was his one scene, wasn't it? I don't think we see him again.
No, because we see him on the phone. Yeah, he's on the phone. Yeah, I think that the budget ran out when they did the chicken, so right, the leftover chicken, so they had to they could only get one shot out of Rob Lowe. All right, so this is where we get to see what happens, right? So the Rob Lowe's character is like a super agent that can get them into Hollywood, and they're gonna take this act all the way to Hollywood and be millionaires, and he actually asks to just get Marty, and Marty shows that good spirit of himself. And I guess sidebar. Here's my impression of this movie, and this is what I like movies that kind of have a message, right? And the message in this movie is that Marty didn't need the arm. He didn't need the extra arm, right? That arm isn't what made him special. That arm helped him right off the bat, but then just caused tragedy, right? And so, but what that arm did is help him discover who his true friends are, because his girlfriend really wasn't a good person if she couldn't look past this other arm. I mean, it wasn't that big of an arm, right? And then and Gus is not a good friend, right? And also none of these people liked him for him. They liked him because of the arm, right? So he got to expose people for what they really are. But when Rob Lowe's character was offering them a shot at the big, well, I was offering Marty a shot at the big time, he said no unless he could bring Gus with him, right? And that's a significant thing for us to find out at the end of the movie here. So they're on their way to Hollywood, and Gus stops over, wakes up Marty.
Quit screaming, will you, Gus?
Where is it? Judd Nelson looked like so spooky in this movie.
Yeah, he looks like
he looks like one of the most heartthrob guys of the 80s, and then he's just it's very unsettling.
Well, it's
and then of course he's a little bit lighter than he was in Cancel Christmas.
Well, I was thinking, people give Christian Bale the praise for when he lost all that weight for that one, but yet this movie just goes overlooked for Judd Nelson.
Dude,
he did it just for this one role.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get so ugly and thin.
I mean, like you're saying, like he kind of looks like scary. You said kind of he's like
yeah, it's like unsettling.
I think the entire movie, even this guy right here, he looks scary too. This whole episode is like a Tales of the Crypt episode, or like a Twilight Zone, or whatever you want to pick.
Well,
I thought it was like
it almost makes it look like these people are only 30% human.
Oh, bringing
70% trash.
Okay, so we got we'll finish up the movie here. So Gus, they go to Wayne Newton's office, and they say, hey, his arm's gone. They do try to put it on a broomstick with a glove.
And we already watched that clip with Corey.
And so they try to fake Wayne Newton out, and he doesn't buy it. So they decide to come clean. And they tell Rob Lowe's character over the phone, like, hey, he doesn't have the third arm anymore. And Rob Lowe's like, there's no time to change it. Bring me the accordion player.
we need one of them.
Yep, and Gus just abandons Marty, gets in a limo, and it's not like the limo or the cab or whatever, but the cab doesn't just have room for Gus. He brings over one of the ladies from earlier in the movie, and he could have brought Marty. He just dumps him, leaves him alone.
Yeah, no, Gus sucked, man. Like,
and then Marty,
yeah.
And then Marty goes to the diner where his ex-girlfriend worked, and there's a new lady there, and she has interest in him. Like all of everything, he's gotten rid of all these toxic people in his life. His life's just better. So really, the arm helped him, but it helped him by being a very temporary conduit to find out who is real in his life and who's And so it is kind of a heartfelt movie in that regard.
Yeah. The moral of the story is don't surround yourself with toxic people and life will be better.
And maybe if you're sweating that much, don't wear a big jacket.
That's also probably a good idea. Is it the same suit every scene that he
kind of
I think it's like the same
yeah.
But he can't, like a greenish.
So
gray.
we're at the end of the movie now, and he can't wear that jacket anymore because he doesn't have an arm to fill the one sleeve, right? So he's back where he started. Right where he started at the beginning, the movie ends how it starts.
Of Mr. Marty Malt.
But Marty doesn't do his material. We haven't mentioned his material. So Corey's joke at the beginning of here was one of Marty's jokes.
The cat's out of the bag.
So Marty's jokes are all kind of the same setup. Like, most of them end up with you can't. That just goes to show you can't get a good whatever in
this town. Yeah. Which, by the way, so his delivery is just awful on him. So then he's getting paid $20 a week, so $10 a night to do his routine at the comedy club, and then they fire him and they bring on somebody else who does the exact same jokes
with more enthusiasm.
And is getting paid. And then I hear him, the owner say, "Yeah, we'll pay you $20 each night you do it." So if he's doing 2 nights now, he's getting $40. I think my math is correct there. And just kind of a letdown for Marty there.
Because he's the underdog and he's just getting kicked until while he's down here. But what happens is he comes back in a whole new thought process. He has a whole new style about him. He's just going to be Marty. He's not going to be Marty the comedian. He's just going to be Marty from now on. And it's kind of fun. It's kind of fitting.
Still slouching. Like the entire movie, he's got like that little slouch.
Also, I don't know if you guys go to comedy open mics or are fans of local comedy or whatever, but when someone comes on stage looking like this, you're in for a treat.
Oh, usually, yeah.
Whether it's good or it's bad, you're like, oh, this guy's got something to say.
And I tend to wonder if Judd Nelson just really wants to be a comedian, and maybe that's why he set this role. Because if you remember in the Breakfast Club, he's telling a joke when he's in the ducts, like in the ceiling. When he's trying to get from the library to somewhere, to the principal's office, I think, and he's telling a joke, and then he doesn't get to tell the punchline because he falls through. I think that moment he was like, I never got to finish that joke. I need a role where I can tell jokes and finish them.
You know what's funny, Trent? Is this he is the only reason this got made.
Yeah.
The director and writer was super young, just moved to Hollywood and whatever. He'd been pitching this around town for years, and it wasn't until Judd read it he was like, we will make this happen. And it seems like such an unflattering role to be your what do they call that?
Like a
vanity piece.
Project,
Yeah.
Yeah. And the movie studios probably didn't sign on until after they got Wayne Newton on there,
Right. That was the final person. They had a pretty they have some decent names in here in this movie, and I think it's just funny that it seems like it kind of got overlooked. I mean, probably for good reasons. And then kind of probably got buried in these people's careers that until one day your co-host on a podcast says, "Hey guys, you ever seen The Dark Backward?"
or this TV show? No, But let's do a what if though. Okay, so the thing I don't like about this movie is the colors. It has that sickly, oversaturated, like I just don't like this. Like you can't eat while you watch this movie, and it's not just because of all the gross things on screen. It's because of the color choices too, and it just has. And then everybody's sweaty. You know, it's so okay. Let's say you took out half the sweat, half the garbage, remove the corpse licking scene altogether.
You got Dumb and Dumber.
Okay, now let me do one. You make it black and white. You got Eraserhead.
They do such a great job that, like, man, the more and more we talk about this movie, the more and more I like it, and they do a very good job with the colors because it does make you feel
super
uneasy
yeah.
and like you don't want to eat while you watch this. But when I was watching this movie, I couldn't take my eyes off of it.
And you were eating a plate of chicken wings.
Well, that too. That the skin fell off the bones and it's in the fridge for the past week and a half. But yeah, no, and then the movie ended and I was kind of like, I kind of wanted more. Like, I want to know what happens with Marty now.
Okay, maybe I was asking too much about the half the garbage and half the sweat. How about this? Here we go. This is the one thing I want, and this can be a fan edit at this point. All I want to make this movie just a little bit better is the first time he goes on stage with the extra arm, if somebody says, give this guy a hand, and somebody goes, he has one too many. Never mind. Okay, let's just see how this ends. Here's his stand-up routine, because he's just being honest. He's just being really Marty. Wearing his...
Up until a few days ago,
work clothes.
I had a third arm growing out of the middle of my back. No. It's true.
Oh, we don't need that graphic at this point, but
full circle.
It's not that much different than Joker. It's not. If you think about it.
I kind of had like a vibe like that. I would agree with you.
Yeah, I mean,
like, he's just trying to be accepted in a world that doesn't care.
Okay. Here we go. I take back everything I said. Here's my final what if.
Rewind.
What if the corpse that Gus was licking was Martha Wayne?
Why'd you say that name?
then it ties it. Yeah. Then the movie's great.
And yeah, it's all like all these movies are all in the same world. Yeah. I was gonna go to final thoughts here on both these movies, and give our ratings. Did you have one more thing to say real quick, or you want to wait for your final thoughts? Anyone?
I think we should go for another hour and a half on this. No.
All right. Rewind. Okay, no, but let's go back to Hands of Steel here. So final thoughts on Hands of Steel. We did talk a lot about that movie. I don't have a whole lot more to talk about. I guess what happens next. I mean, where does our main character, where's Paco go from here? Does he go to California? Does he go north? Does he end up in?
Does he stay with Linda does he
stay with Linda? Does she become Steel as well? Like, what happens? I give her my rating now, right? Yeah, sure. That's how we do this. I forgot how to do this here. No, my rating on this movie it's pretty low for high score Waffenack here. So 3 out of 10 is where I would put this movie. I think that's a fair score. Trent, how about you?
I very, very, very much like this movie. So I had not seen this movie before, and then when we started talking about movies with people with extra limbs, yeah, like I was like, I heard about this movie from the 80s and I never saw it, and so I saw it and I knew immediately that this was the right movie for us, right? Because it just had things to talk about. But even though I like it, you have to be honest with yourself, and I give it a 2, 1 for each Hand of Steel.
Ooh, 2. Oh, there's my dog. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. That was 5 barks. So, yeah, no, it's one of those movies that it has that weird like not originally in English sort of vibe to it, which is makes it weird and entertaining. But yeah, it's pretty bad watch. And also, it's been a few days, I'll say, since I watched it, but I don't really remember much from anything that wasn't in the clips. Like it, pretty forgettable.
But I'm glad I saw it. I mean, it's like
Yeah. Good time once.
It's one of those. It's one of those kind of movies that you watch when you're like driving during a road trip.
Yeah.
Through a blizzard.
Through a blizzard, yes. So your focus is definitely on the movie, not the road, obviously. I mean, we got to get our hands on some of those T-shirts, though. I think
our hands of steel on those T-shirts.
Yes.
I do want to bring. I brought up the graphic just one more time. If you guys see here, his arm is the flesh is ripped away, and you can see his bionicness, but bionicity. And which immediately made me think Star Wars, right? Like this immediately made me think Empire Strikes Back, right? Or at least like Jedi, like when he sees it and he has to cover it up, right? And so if people are wondering what makes you think that the Dark Backward and Hands of Steel have anything to do with each other, because they're both like Star Wars where people lose limbs, right? Like that's that both Paco and Marty are essentially Skywalkers, right? If Rey can be a Skywalker, so can they. And these guys have a little bit even more clout because they had limbs that they don't have anymore.
It looks like on the cover there, it says this took place in 1997. I don't know if we mentioned that earlier or not, but yeah, 1997. I mean, you guys remember 97, and they were making, people made all of steel and.
Yeah, I remember when I was 3.
Yeah, you remember 97?
Essentially, though, in 1997, that's when they made the Furby, so that's not that far off.
It's not that far off. Do you want to know what the rest of the general public gave this movie?
Yeah.
On IMDb. Cam, I missed what you said. What did you say?
I got to go 3.
Go 3, so you're with me. Out of 2,863 people who have ranked this movie on IMDb, 5.3 out of 10. So is that above, over the top, or under?
No, 5.3. No, it's lower.
5.3. Okay.
But over the top was 5.8.
But really a 10.
Criminally, 5.8.
Criminally.
Yeah, I mean, really, if you. I liked Hands of Steel, and also they belong in the same. Okay, I know that I never saw him kick a woman in Over the Top, but they're in that same genre otherwise, right? There was a man with glasses, I'm certain of it. They're in the same genre. I just think that there'd be more distance in the rankings.
Yeah, well, maybe after people watch this podcast, they go watch the movie and then lower that rating a little bit. Onto The Dark Backward. Out of these two movies, I definitely think this was a better movie. In my, IMO, my opinion. Final thoughts on this. I was just reading. So there's about a $2 million budget for this movie. And opening weekend, it made about $8,000.
Wow.
Fair.
Yeah. And that was US and Canada. Worldwide, about 28,000.
Oh, that's a big jump though.
Well, I mean, but still 2 million to 28,000.
Yeah, but worldwide it made
I'm sorry. Opening weekend, it was $8,000. Gross US and Canada, I guess, and that's the only place that actually showed it.
Okay.
That was 28,000. Yeah.
Oh, so the Canadians really bailed us out on that one. Those Canadians love their arms. I'm telling you. Originally we had talked, and I gave it a 3, but
I'm bumping it up to a 4. I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. I can't quite give it a 5, so I'm just gonna stick with a 4. You see that 4, and that's where I'm at with that. And I'll let Trent.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3.
You're gonna stick with the 3.
one for each arm, right?
Yep.
And then I feel like I cheated all of you by not making a right to bear arms reference through any of this, so I apologize.
That's your final thought, and that's Trent's final thought.
That was a very short final thought. I like it.
Well,
Cam.
boys, I'm pretty disappointed. I think this is a 9. This is one of the most entertaining movies of all time. I get that this is like proper camcore, like weird, but I thought you guys, as much as you talked about it in like usually we're picking movies. Oh, Trent says we're not picking movies apart, but that's kind of what we do. This one, you guys are just like throwing out jokes, making your own fake arm. You're having a good time. It's a 9, baby. Come on.
Yeah, I respect you for giving it a 9. I thought you were going to go with maybe like an 8. But a 9 coming from Cam is huge. I don't think you haven't gone that high on a score on any movie yet.
No, and this is also the only movie I've suggested. So,
so hubris. There's movie hubris here. You know, I feel like this is the same like comment kind of. I mean, we're just asking for it that we got with Last Action Hero, where I thanked a person for requesting that we cover that movie, and then I said how bad it was. No, the lower the score, the more I liked it. You know, that's really
the lower the score for Trent. It's like golf.
Yeah, but you gotta be
searching for a 1.
But you gotta be real. You gotta be real with this. You know, I mean, what? Okay, I mean, I would rather. Okay, go back to the last episode. I would rather watch Trick or Treat than watch The Dark Backward, but I still like The Dark Backward. I'll watch it again.
I mean, I there will come a time where I'll end up watching again. Maybe it's hard to say. You know, if I stumble across it in the bargain bin sometime, I might have to buy it. Ooh, that should be one of our questions. Would you buy this movie? I like that one.
You know, well, and it's funny you bring that up because that's actually like I just read an article about how the used DVD market is actually like starting to creep back up now because you know, if you went and bought 100 movies from some garage sale for $10, it probably has more movies than you'd want to see on your favorite streaming service. And then, you know, because everybody in America has more than one streaming service now because not everything you want to watch is on there.
Yep.
And I know that because I go to Goodwill and buy all of their crappy movies and I just during our little break I was showing off my newest bunch and
newest editions, yeah.
And one it's great when you can find one still wrapped in on DVD.
Because somebody bought it and they got it as a gift and they never.
This is not a new release. Anyway, so anyway, I'm saying that I think it's relevant to say, would you buy it? And yes, if I saw Dark Backward, I would buy it.
I think I would too. After all this.
It belongs in the thought of the movies that I like. Yeah.
It belongs in a museum.
It belongs in the museum. You guys want to know what the rest of the public ranked it out of 4,000 people?
Yes.
You ready for this? 5.7.
That's just ridiculous.
5.7 out of 10.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
5.7 out of 10. The Dark Backward. Yeah. Gentlemen, I had a good time talking to you guys tonight. This was fun. Anything else you want to say before we sign off here?
That's the way the story goes,
That's
Corey.
the way the story goes. Well, folks, thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you made it this far, which I'm sure you probably did, don't forget to, click, like, and subscribe. And
ding that bell.
And ding that bell and put a comment down below so we know what movies you think we should watch. They got to be, at least like B-rated movie, not something that was made in someone's basement, unless it's good. Anyways, thank you guys again for hanging out on this. Do you remember this movie
or this TV show?
Do you remember? Or this TV show.
I am positive the weapon can only be a hand.
It's impossible.